were pretty confident going into the match with Leviathan because probably we didn't play practice against them at all. We didn't experience them playing super good in practice, so we wasn't scared like other teams, you know. I'm not super happy. It's like I'm still aiming for MVP this tournament, you know, and it looks like other players from my team are a bit higher, so I need to step it up next games. I would say Sinet is a bit more aggressive. I'm super proud of him. Like he jumped into a super structured team like ours, and he's doing a great job despite him having to play different agents across different maps. It was a confident win. Don't know what else to say. I'm just happy.
The reposition. Nothing to get to. 1v3 push shot found. 1, 2, 3!
I think in Fnatic everyone is able to perform really well, except Boster. I feel Boster is not obviously new to AGLing, yeah, but he's in the start of his pass and he's gonna be insane later. But at this moment I feel pretty confident playing against him in terms of counter-stratting, in terms of everything related to IGL. I would say I'm natural born leader, but the traits which required to be good AGL, it's only experience. You need to try something new all the time, then remember which worked, which not. Just a lot of tries, a lot of mistakes is what makes you a good AGL. Good luck, have fun.
Welcome back to the VALORANT Lock-In Tournament. Achilleos, Angel, and the rest of NaVi may have come into the tournament and the series confident, but I gotta wonder how they're feeling now going down 2-0 in much more dominant fashion on this most recent map of Lotus.
I mean, you have to feel like the confidence is getting shattered a little bit. They decided to go for this Lotus yet again. It's the second time showing it, and it's even worse than the first time. Not really able to get anything done. 4 rounds collectively picked up. Didn't get to see them attempt that run back on the attacking side that they were able to pull off against Crew. This was just brutal. You can tell that Fnatic have had this map workshop, they have been ready, and they also studied the ever-loving hell out of what NaVi ran.
Yeah, and talking about that matchup in the IGLs that Angel was mentioning himself, it felt like he, as an IGL, was unable to find the read on this defensive side. Initially, they had some good ideas, I think. They were struggling with early information, so they started getting aggressive, taking a long, taking mound. That was initially successful, but then immediately, Fnatic, they take their pause, they pivot on over, they have the read on it and are able to punish it. It felt like Fnatic was one step ahead on the ideas, on the calls for that whole first half.
And that felt like the only positive. That was literally the only thing we saw from NaVi in that first half that had any sort of credence to it. I mean, shout out to whoever in the audience is asking the real questions. When does NaVi play? Because literally only one team has shown up so far. First map, discussion aside, that was still sloppy in my eyes from NaVi. That wasn't the expected level. Couple of clutch rounds slipping through, but Fnatic firmly in the driving seat now.
Yeah, I can't for the life of me wrap my head around picking a map where you just look absolutely abysmal on the defending side. 0 out of 10 on retake attempts there for the side of NaVi. Why do you keep doing this? You got brutalized by Crew on that defending side. They still like to go to this map. We know that they have stronger maps in this pool. There's things like Ascent that are available, and they leave it for the 5th map. We might not make it that far.
The crazy thing on the back of that as well is Fnatic win more 4v5s than NaVi win 5v4s.
Yeah.
Like, that is just an outrageous stat.
Yeah, statistically, you want to forget this map if you're NaVi because nothing looks good for you.
Yeah, now that puts them in such a brutal position now where you're down 0-2, you play into a map where they should be favored, right? That was Fnatic's first ever official there. They get out called, and that's kind of what we prided NaVi in going into this matchup, right? When Fnatic tends to run out of ideas in later maps, this team always has something fresh, and Angel didn't here.
Which, just to quickly as well, we did see Fnatic almost overcooking the pot in the mid-round. It was like they were hesitant, and NaVi still didn't capitalize. There wasn't anything for NaVi to cling to actually capitalize on some of those rounds.
And if we're going to talk about confidence building, you know that Fnatic's building confidence right now. Boaster in particular. He came away with a 4K in our Verizon high-speed moment of the match. Take a look at the IGL for Fnatic. Absolutely feeling himself.
I mean, man was just anchoring down the seaside. You can see Durko's getting ready to rotate around to join in, trying to reinforce his position, but Boaster didn't really need the reinforcements. He was able to just go ahead and pick them apart, challenging these duels one after the other, and you can see the frustration there on CNET, just feeling like he's unable to do anything. Angel, slight little misread on which angle he should approach from. Doesn't come to the CT side, goes over the waterfall, and Boaster just gets him one by one.
Yeah, and beyond just the teams, you can see the difference in performance across the two IGLs. Angel was back on his same game plan of on the attacking side, I'm going to be teleporting in, taking space at rubble, going for these lurks, trying to make himself a playmaker. In the video, he was saying, I want to be this tournament's MVP, but in this matchup, he fell flat while Boaster, the player less talked about, was popping off.
All right, so we find ourselves in a similar position to yesterday. 2-0 scoreline for one team and needing the reverse sweep.
Don't even start.
HyperX, we're going to Fracture, baby. Start building it up for me. How does NaVi get back into it?
Like a record skipping, I'm going to come back. It gets stronger for NaVi, but they have to dig themselves out of this hole. They have to. This basically just complete reset here. Let's look at these last 3 maps as individual opportunities now to close this out. But it's going to take a lot of determination. This is where they need to tap into the experience of Angel as the IGL, the grit and determination of these players individually and what they're capable of.
I will say, this does, I'm right there with you, Dash, this does kind of echo what we saw yesterday. Fairly close, you know, one map, a kind of dominant one on the other side there from Loud taking down DRX, and then that run back begins. Both teams weren't looking like themselves, weren't looking like, you know, the players that we know that they can be. Now it has to be the turnaround for NaVi.
Well, if NaVi's going to do it, they got to arm themselves with the proper tools, Mimi, here in the Prime Gaming Agent Select.
NaVi has been playing this double controller composition. Despite the Omen nerfs, they've still been leaning into that one, playing Angel on the Cypher. They are going back to that composition, but my question is, on this defensive side, picking that Cypher, oftentimes playing these setups that are heavier towards one side, leaving Angel to anchor, that feels exploitable with Dirk on the raise.
Wow, no real surprises when it comes to what the teams themselves lock in, but plenty of differences between these two compositions. So I feel like this actually in some ways gives NaVi their best chance because you're not necessarily matching utility 1 for 1. With that, we know that NaVi's got to get it done here on map number 3. We're ready for it, which means it's time to send back to our casters. Here's Doug and Bala.
Thank you, Dash. I know we're ready for it. The question is, are NaVi ready for it? Because I'm not going to lie to you, Bala. The desk alluded to yesterday and how there was almost a reverse sweep and it was really exciting at the end. This feels so distant from what we saw yesterday. I almost cannot fathom a reality in which that is the case.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some similarities. I think both NaVi and DRX kind of trolled in the map vetoes and allowed the... I mean, DRX, it was a much different situation because it was like a very distinct style of maps that they brought out in the first 2 with the Harbor Viper stuff. But NaVi, a little bit more standard. It's just the maps that they really weren't... I mean, I completely agree with Achilleos about Lotus. I completely agree with HyperX about Haven as well and how weak NaVi potentially looked on that. But if that's the case, then maybe they have set themselves up for forcing this reverse sweep. Forcing themselves to have to deal with this.
And now it's having to deal with the attacking side from Fnatic here in this opener to Fracture.
And this is the half that Fnatic started on against 100 Thieves. And it looked very good. It started off with them farming orbs. Mostly funneling them to Boaster, though. This time, Alfir is the one who gets one up. Slow approach in the first 40 seconds, though. I don't think they've noted the wall here from Sugetsu, though. This one's going to be difficult for them to get through. It looks like they want to do a sand crunch. And this Viper wall's blocking both sides.
Ooh, that nade is good. CNET able to apply some pressure and provide some space from the opposite side of the site.
This gives them a massive pocket on the backside here.
Sugetsu playing up top. He's got light armor. The nade not going to land for now, so he's still concealed. And they're able to swing out and apply pressure from opposite sides. Clean shots out from NaVi.
And Dirk is in damage control. Picking up an orb. And that was clean from Sugetsu on the site there. And also, you really expected this wall to give them more room to actually work with and pounce out of. But the pathing that they took, the spike going over towards drop, if that person falls, he was by himself. They're really having trouble getting that back in there as the smokes fade from the first denial of the sand crunch. That's the start you need from NaVi. You need it to be clean. You need it to look like the Fracture that they brought out against Leviathan.
One enemy remaining.
The truth is, I think for the NaVi faithful, you take almost anything at this point, but that is an excellent start. That sets them up for their vintage NaVi buy. Or are they able to buy some rifles and then keep pistols the rest of the way?
This is the third orb now connected for Fnatic.
More than halfway to having Alfier's lockdown in play.
And you know how big of an impact it had in that series against 100 Thieves. They're going to get a second, and I think they're going to just go on an orb mission, even potentially go all the way back to Dish.
Feels like they're playing a
Xiao's here. He might peek, but they're nading him off, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they got what they wanted. They got what they came for.
Boaster's calling. He's going over towards Drop. Hey, let's go for all 4.
Yeah,
one more, and Alfier will have his ult next round.
Yeah.
Just one more orb. Sugetsu's here to try to deny, but he's up against 5. There's the molly. Maybe we'll get a couple vulnerable tags.
But the nade's going to help. But
oh, they're going to fight.
Oh my gosh, they are.
This is dangerous now.
I think the utility provides enough cover for them to secure it, yeah.
I mean, hey, this is already such a successful eco round. They're going to have his ult next round, no matter what happens. Unless he somehow doesn't die, doesn't get a kill.
Which is kind of alarming for NaVi, because even when Fnatic are at a deficit, they're still getting what they want. Boaster didn't want that shot in between his eyes, but Angel delivered it anyway. Again, note the pistols are all that Fnatic have to work with here. And they've made it interesting. Leo has just made it exceptionally interesting here. But again, it all just falls down onto Chronicle. And again, the purchase strategy from NaVi should make things okay.
Yeah, they carry 3 rifles, 2 Bulldogs, 1 Phantom into this round. I do wonder as well how the slight shift in the weapon preference for NaVi has actually affected them in this. Because obviously Fnatic going for the light armor strat.
Right.
And the switch is what I mean by Zip-On picking up a Phantom, Angel. I think both of those sometimes were picking it up. But it does feel like a wholehearted shift from a lot of different players here.
Leo once again taking ropes, rejoining with the rest of his team.
You 100% expect here for Alfie to go to the underpass ult. Remember, there's no Brimstone on Navi's side. Not that it would have mattered anyways, because there's no way 2 of these ults would have gotten online at the same time in this round 3. And they will ult. Leo's stuck here, taking a first duel against CNET and Zip-On, and he'll get the first.
He might get the second too, he does. And the third, honestly, is around the corner. But the timing just not favoring Angel. He swings out just as Leo has vacated the premises. And they're going to rotate right back into him.
You might think Angel there is late to clear with the rest of his team, but he actually put a camera down in tree at the beginning of the round.
Oh, they knew. They knew. They had the fault line set up, but Leo wins it out without needing the help.
I think he actually rushed to get back into that while Leo got those first 2 kills, and Leo heard him.
Okay, NaVi making a run back at this thing.
They're all off the site. There's a molly that just went out. Chronicle also has his aftershock. There's so much utility here to actually deal with, and there's not going to be time.
Yeah, there's not a lot of time. And then the molly, Xiao has to back off, and he just backs off into his death. Alfier gets 2 on the round. Fnatic get on the board.
Same start as Haven. That one, I mean, really nothing from NaVi to counter there. They want to go on the fast flank as the KJ ult is going off. But there's no flash there from Zip-On. There's no boombot from CNET to try to deal with the 1 player holding the flank in Leo. We just saw the stat, over 300 ACS against 100 Thieves. And he might have the same type of performance if he continues this way.
An outrageous start for the newcomer for Fnatic. The truth is, both of the new pieces have performed admirably. This time it's Alfier feeling some pressure on the northern side.
This is where the Omen shines, is in that A-Halls. And that's why Fnatic's avoiding it. And there's a little bit here for Angel and Sugetsu. They're going to clear this, actually, fight in front of the Nightfall.
How much more can they get? They've already taken care of 2 massive keys.
That nade from Zip-On as well. is huge to actually allow Angel to escape there while they fight in front. Sugetsu takes the first peek, then Angel takes a different angle. What?
Again, things keep clicking for Fnatic. Just when it seems like NaVi may have an advantage,
Great
Fnatic
flash.
seem to stick around. An excellent flash, you're absolutely right. Alfier and Leo fall. Chronicle has plenty of money to work with.
Now, this is where NaVi faltered, so to see them, again, actually come out with this round is very important when we talk about form, when we talk about how they look coming out of the gates on the rest of the maps. There is way more layers to their fracture than the first two maps that we saw so far. Way more ideas, way more prep. The way that they re-cleared there, wanting to fight in front of any of the utility that Fnatic throw, wanting to fight in front of the Nightfall. For Fnatic, the idea is, okay, if we Nightfall, they're going to fall back. If we Nightfall, we can play with the sound. But look at the re-clear. This feels almost like a A-Long Haven re-clear.
Yeah, yep.
But with that nade out as well, you get some safety. Chronicle, that's against no tracers. That's why I'm shocked by that shot. Just having the angle on Angel. Known down pat.
Light armor for Fnatic, a stinger in the hands of Boaster. Ultimate, I guess, close by for Durka, but still far away enough. Once again, they regroup on the southern side.
I get this buy up because of how clean that round where Leo caught the flank was when they had the ultimate up. Hasn't been a focus on the orb since then. It's gonna be a flash here. Zipon can try to challenge. They could also double flash. Remember we were mentioning moments ago about how difficult it is to take this Halls against Xiao when he's playing this Omen. Not only the one way, but then the long, deep, very narrow hallway allows for that paranoia to do massive work.
They're gonna split. Oh, and he's not able to take off.
Well, he's by himself. There's no utility at all for him.
And they are gonna get Halls control, but how much more are they gonna get, or are they gonna get stuck? CNET takes care of Boaster. The spike's still not left Halls. And now they have utility dumped at their feet. They can't find any room to breathe, any room to work. They're gonna have to fight out of the corner. They've been put into an Alfier with 2 massive kills. Xiao dancing around, drops the spike. Oh, that could have been trouble. That could have been disaster. 13 seconds left, and the spike's not gonna make its way out.
Oh, he thought he could cheat that. Leo just trying to take the orb as they go into the next round. That one's, again, very nice. Although, I have to question... Oh, Alfier's having a round. Oh, that hurts. That hurts so much. Fnatic are going to be able to get another buy here, too, with the light armor as they're going. This is going to be really frustrating for NaVi to go up against. But this first engagement, that's what I was talking about right there. CNET finding Durka. When there's no utility thrown for him at all, he's by himself coming on a drop. I think what Fnatic's thinking is there's so much presence with that one-way going off, with the nade going through, with the flash as well from Zipon, that he can maybe find a backstab on the players. But after that initial utility, NaVi just backed off. They weren't necessarily playing full send in towards Halls.
Angel spotting one, but does he expect the other 4 members here?
Oh, danger for Angel.
Zipon falls.
They got the pinch on the backside, though. CNET actually got the push out of drop.
And that's just going to force him right into B, right into the welcoming arms of NaVi. 4v2 here, and again, Chronicle doesn't have very much. He drops the stinger that he once had. And now the spike out of reach. NaVi should be able to secure this round, should be able to get to 5.
And this journey for NaVi back in the series, they have to be thinking about how they get there the entire way. A reverse sweep, again, has not happened on the main circuit of an international event. We're talking LAN and these types of teams playing. And it's because it's so difficult to stay in it mentally, to stay in it with the stamina, to be able to continue to have top form for all your players. So you think 5-1 has to be even better.
Yep.
Has to be at least what you did to them on Lotus.
And Fnatic now being the first to call a timeout, being the first to throw a pause into the situation. They find themselves down 4 rounds here on their map pick. And the fun thing about a best of 5 like this is that, yeah, it can be one team's map pick as opposed to the others, but the truth is you can get a situation like this where Fracture's strong for both sides.
Yeah.
Preference that later you get into the series often matters less. And I want to very quickly give some love to the Game Changer scene because there has been a reverse sweep on LAN via Game Changers, but I want to go back to what you were mentioning because it is so much of a mental fight.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to stay in it mentally.
Yeah.
You have to be able to go round after round, and this is where it becomes a marathon, right? You got to be thinking long term. Xiao, early engage, feeling some pressure. You highlighted the prowess of the paranoia in situations like this. In this position, and the nade's going to back him off for now.
The stun from Chronicle there actually saves Zippon from being able to follow up there. Actually prevents Zippon, I should say, from following up there. But what is happening for NaVi? They've actually collapsed all on this A side. They've got 2 trips on the B side, the deep camera in Arcade. I don't know if that's enough for you to really know this is the right gamble. Instead, they're actually pushing north side, and I like this through drop. A late push, never what you expect.
You're going to find 2 members just on the other side. Alfier with a massive kill, but Togetsu trades it back.
But all the tools they had to know whether this B hit is going to happen, gone. Away from Angel. And so they're going to run onto the site. Boaster's got the smokes. There's a gap in that canteen smoke.
Note here, Sugetsu had the Viper's Pit. That could have been the difference maker, but Cena's going to try to do it
2 HP.
himself. 2v2 here, Leo weak, but CNED weaker.
Breach here from Chronicle 2 with the plant.
A total of 7 HP between the 2 players on opposing sides. Spike ticking away. Tension of the moment building second after second. Can Fnatic win this one back? Clean shots onto CNED. And the safety, the ace in the hole, the Rolling Thunder should be preserved into the following round.
Wow.
Oh, never mind.
Chronicle just doesn't take risks in this situation, especially when you're down. Okay, hey, I respect it.
Yeah, leave nothing to chance.
But there, Angel leading that north side push back through drop. Again, I mentioned how I like that. Given how late in the round it was happening and also what has happened so far, where Fnatic is posturing for an A hit through halls, you expect maybe there to be one player up there that you can isolate. So I like the idea, but Angel going away from the site, away from his utility, makes Fnatic ability to just walk on the site free. And Boaster with the little gap as well, decides he just wants to push through that gap and take a kill.
The idea was great, perhaps the personnel questionable.
A lot of times too, to touch on that smoke one more time, the smoke gen will block your angle and you'll rotate around Canteen to try to get some spam. And Boaster finds the opportunity to get that kill in the middle of it. Alfier has ults, Boaster has ults. They're gonna go ahead and lock down again.
You mentioned those 2 ults, but Xiao is the op here.
I would love to see Xiao take more space through Arcade here, but he doesn't opt to do so. Not sure of what's on the other side and not sure what's actually an underpass watching for him.
1 player was detained, so it's going to be a momentary delay, but this looks like it's going to be a 5-man approach
Oh, that's
for NaVi.
Xiao and the smokes too, so they have to wait entirely for that.
Yeah, they do have Zipan's ult here, and they do have Sugetsu's as well. So they have some tools, but keep a close eye on Alfier, who just rotated to the northern side of the map to apply some pressure and to box them in. They're scattering. Look at them on the minimap.
Yeah, look at Boaster. He's all the way on A. He's going to go for a late flank through spawn.
Will NaVi expect it? Will they be able to hold the aggression back?
Oh, the ult gets used, but it's halved. He's not going to be able to line up for a molly here.
They have time. Showstopper used. Durka! Drop. Boaster gets the kill.
Zipon's back on it.
2v2.
He's back on it.
Is there, but is it going to be good enough? Oh my gosh! Unreal! We got to see that again.
Oh my goodness. All the utility that Fnatic had. And Boaster with a long flank avoiding the suppress from Zipon's ult.
And we were worried about whether or not he would get there in time, but it was perfect.
A sigh of relief. And anger. Instead, we're back into the round fast in the halls. This time they disrespect completely the one-way from Xiao.
Wouldn't have it any other way. The Nightfall invested. It is going to tag a couple of members. Guns not great for the side of NaVi. As the nade finds one from Durka. Xiao trying to reposition and stay alive with 1 HP. The skin of his teeth keeps him alive for now. Counter paranoid traded, and look at Angel. He's gone aggressive. He's taking space, but he doesn't really have guns. All he has is a Sheriff. Can he find value?
How does Alfier know here?
He's just so wise.
He caged off the turret.
Now goes back, clears it.
Well, they haven't gotten a spike plant yet, so they think they can pivot. But look, NaVi's actually left completely dropped. I'm not sure exactly what they're thinking right now, but Angel cleared bottom side. They think there was more arcade presence than there was.
Yeah, the silence from Fnatic was too much for NaVi. Again, Sugetsu has his Viper Spit. He's had it for a few rounds, though. A retake attempt from spawn, from drop.
There's no flash here to clear Boaster.
He will be the first to receive.
Oh, Alfier just opened the door to bait for him, too.
Boaster waiting. The kills are there. Angel falls. And he's got help from Alfier. Fnatic fully controlled the round.
Dangerous territory for NaVi as Fnatic re-enter this game in similar fashion to how they won Lotus with a roar. Fnatic fans absolutely loving it. Angel is struggling to find the right calls here.
They look cozy for a while, but you're right. He's just getting outplayed at this point.
The indecision there on the hold on to drop and the rotate back as well to try to maybe find somebody arcade there, even though there just wasn't anybody. He doesn't have that information, of course, but with the push through sand, there's just that little bit of doubt that you could see them acting on.
Position of one given away. Patience out from Angel.
Zipon can play off the camera.
Waiting for the flash.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Yep.
Try to jump back up into the cage there.
That is an Angel play if I've ever seen one. It does not work out, and Boaster cleans him up for it. Now the leader for Fnatic pushing through the tip of the spears. You see Durka fly across him. Sight taken, spike planted. Note here, NaVi have some guns. We talked about the success that Fnatic had in these 4v5s in the previous map. Can NaVi do a bit of the same? The flash there, CNET on the turn. Chronicle spotted. Outrageous shots, but he's traded right back. Now Alfier applying pressure. You've got Leo here too. The flash is going to push him back. He takes the challenge, isolates a 1v1 and gets the kill on his zip end. How much more can he find? No. Xiao on the trade. Alfier not pushing forward, not applying pressure. 3v2 here for Fnatic as now Alfier chooses to make his move. The timing is gorgeous for Fnatic yet again. We're tied at 5. The lead, the momentum for NaVi, gone.
All out of that timeout for Mini. Speaking of timeouts, right back at it. And you have to think too about the situations that NaVi is putting themselves into and Fnatic is forcing them into. For example, this Hall's push back in. A lot of times you do give credit for NaVi there to try to win that. But Fnatic have a flank on them. They have people on site still. They're just playing the situations and the post plants right.
Yep. And when they're playing as well as they are. You know, there was a moment there where it seemed like NaVi were kind of figuring things out, but it goes back to the questions we've had all series. Like, if you're NaVi, what do you do when Fnatic look this good?
Yeah. Which is the question we've been asking about other teams facing up against NaVi all tournament long.
Exactly. The turns have tabled.
I have to wonder what still is on the table here for NaVi. Because I'm not quite sure if there's much else, especially when you see the doubt that I keep mentioning creeping in to the players and Angel himself. You mentioned this ult from Sugetsu multiple rounds in a row now. With only stingers, with only a stinger and a couple sheriffs, I don't expect it, but
you can also make a compelling case, given the stinger, that he wants to play through the chaos, but we'll see.
This Seas is the one that caught Cryo with the Brim ults, but nothing happening. They're just going to take the challenge. Zipon, okay. There's a little something, but there's always just a little something. I want to bring back a stat from Lotus that Hypoc mentioned on the desk. Fnatic was winning more 4v5s. This situation right here.
Does he ult? He does. And again, he has the stinger. He can play through the chaos of his pit. He's got trips too to help him out. Sugetsu, patiently waiting on the other side.
He planted right on the edge of that pit too. Surprised to see that go unpunished.
Yeah. Oh, Chronicle using it early, using it aggressive. They want to take the fight, and they're going to push it. CNET's in trouble. CNET's in trouble. Yeah, he falls. Cooked up.
Yeah, but Sugetsu's flanking them.
Chow, 1v2, Sheriff in hand, not able to land the shots. Fnatic take the lead back.
Relatively expensive round there. I do like the ult from Sugetsu, but he did use it on the eco. They end up coming very close to winning that round, but they used the Breach ult. They used the Brim ult. They comboed the two together. And remember, at the beginning of this round, Bosa didn't even have his ult. Farming that orb again, the ult economy has been so good for Fnatic on this map. And against this comp from NaVi, part of the reason why they're back in this game at all is the Alpha Year ults. Woo!
Xiao with a big kill with the off there on Dudurka. Given how the series is gone, a 6-6 for NaVi is massive. They need every round they can possibly get. Boaster weak here. Fnatic cutting noise. Choosing to go the silent route. No ults to speak of either. Note here, they've done this a couple of times where they cut noise, and NaVi have been quick to rotate off of that, but this time they seem to stay. They seem to be a bit disciplined. Turret tries to provide some cover, but Sugetsu waiting for the head of Alpha here, but no, it's Alpha who takes it off of Sugetsu. Angel on the swing, cleans up Leo.
He's still fighting. He's still fighting.
Can Chronicle and Alphier bring this back? No. Alphier with a lot to do, and he's just not able to do it. Again, we mentioned how the series has gone. A 6-6 is drastically different from a 7-5. So for NaVi, perhaps a glimmer of hope, perhaps signs of life. But it really feel like Fnatic were able to snatch things back. We're going to throw it down to an interview yet again with Yinsu, who's standing by with Davies from Crew. Yinsu, take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. That's right, I'm joined by Davies from Crew now.
Hello.
Now, you guys played against NaVi earlier in this tournament. How do you think they're doing? Did you expect them to be 2-0 down here?
Well, not really. I feel like they've been playing a lot better since us. I feel like every single map, every single series, they've been playing a little bit better. Surprises me that they're down 0-2 with this, but I think if they get this map, it's gonna be like 3-2 whoever teams wins.
Do you believe in the reverse sweep? You think NaVi can do it?
Well, I think they whoever wins this map gets the momentum going, and I feel like they can go to 5 maps easily.
Oh, I hope we see 5 maps. Now, of course, you've been on this stage. You've played in front of a crowd. Describe to me how those players right now might be feeling.
Well, of course, there's a lot of hype. I feel like the crowd today is with Fnatic. So whenever like the crowd goes to another team, like for example NaVi right now, it's feeling like crowd is cheering for them. But whenever the crowd is silent, it's gonna help you, you know, because you know they don't have the crowd now, and it's helping you. Yeah, of course, I don't think they have nerves on being on stage. I feel like they have a lot of experience, a lot of experienced players. Yeah, I think they don't have any more nervous than anything.
Yeah, well, this half, it looks like Fnatic are struggling a little bit. What do you think they need to do in the second half to be able to close this out 3-0?
Fnatic?
Yes.
Well, I feel like against NaVi, you just have to play a structure, respect your structure, and expect anything. I feel like NaVi just plays around reads, and they just gamble whenever they can. You just have to expect everything, and of course, I think Derke has to kill a little more. But on defense, with Raze, Fracture, I think he has it.
Oh, thank you very much, Davies, for joining me.
Thank you.
Well, Davies, he believes in Derke, but Derke certainly needs to step up. Dagenballer, let's see if he can.
Thank you, Sue. Yeah, the nice thing about this Fnatic roster, though, is that Derke can be 2-11, and they're still sitting comfortably in a tied fight. Leo at 12-9. Alpha, you're playing well. Boaster's had his moments, too. I mean, it's just next man up for the squad.
Yeah, it really is. Anybody could step up. And like you said, 2-11 for Derke, and they're still 6-6. Again, 92% attacking round win rate on Fracture. That's what it was on Lotus. Thankfully, it's a much, much closer half. We didn't even really get to see the attack side from NaVi. This time we will. We'll get a chance.
NaVi waiting as a bit of utility from Fnatic has been invested. The Prowler used from Leo, not spotting anyone.
It's a super passive hold here for Alfir on A.
Yep.
They've got the kill mollies set up for the planter if they go for that corner, but looking for this nade. Where does it go? Up towards drop. Not going to clear this stuff out.
Oh, it's going to be a problem as they're going to try to play hopscotch through the utility that's there, but can they? No, we're safe.
That's popped early. Popped before the alarm bot. So Angel was able to actually escape, even though he was already low. Oh.
Just waiting. Almost got a second there. NaVi with control here, with the numbers advantage. Can Zipan find another? There are 3 playing up top. Oh, the nade's going to throw him right back into reverse as Sugetsu tries to land the shots, but Fnatic bouncing around their screens. Convert the kills, and CNET finds one, but that's all it's going to be. Now Xiao left with a couple of members weak on the side of Fnatic. No kills converted. Leo with the defuse. Fnatic with the lead again.
The shot's just not landing there for NaVi.
Nope. Multiple members, too.
The only player who got it is Angel. Through the smoke, too. That's Sugetsu, that's Xiao. That's the top fraggers for the team in those instances. This is Alfir coming out, finding Zipan. This is where I'm mentioning Sugetsu now being able to find Leo, who is just jumping, by the way. And okay, on pistol round, good strategy, I guess. And 7 stages of denial.
You're seeing him go through it.
He was angry before, now just frustrated.
Xiao dismissed by the Bulldog from Boaster. Feeling some pressure, calling for utility to help. Sugetsu spotted. Was able to sidestep the fault line, though. Look at how far spread out they are, too, on NaVi's side.
And it's not the same approach type thing that Fnatic was doing, where they're just trying to farm orbs. I mean, Fnatic's doing a great job denying this space. They already took a fight in front of Tree, not then the kill on Xiao. But at the same time, too, you think about this comp from NaVi, and there's not the same insistence on the orbs. There's not the same importance on the ult economy, because they don't have a Brim, they don't have a KJ.
Which just means that they have to find the persistence elsewhere. And I don't know how you do that. That's been the question all series.
Look at the reclear here from Fnatic. It's going to be late, but so much pressure on Angel to find 2, honestly. Otherwise, they're going to start getting pinched on site. And he spots the flank fast, but falling back here is just even worse.
Oh, that nade may kill him. He's got 39 HP. Yeah, he was done, man. He was dead and dusted. The Aftershock just to confirm things. Fnatic with another clean round. They continue to march forward. The defuse is going to come through, and that's a prime gaming flawless for the defensive side.
Fnatic 2 rounds up now. This is map 3. For them, closing this out means they go to the finals. Closing this out means they get revenge on NaVi, who took them down in this exact position at Copenhagen. And a top 4 finish for Fnatic, which has eluded them since.
What do NaVi do here? Actually, that's the thing about this Fnatic roster right now, man, is that you think, all right, how do NaVi respond? Fnatic don't even give them a chance to consider the approach. They're so aggressive. What a play call out of Fnatic.
The regroup here from NaVi immediately on the north side, though. After trading Durka out. Huge disadvantage, though. Losing 2 entirely is horrible. Smoke from Boaster denies the arcade walkthrough from Sugetsu. He's not even in the play right now. That's Spike, too. And remember, no smokes here. They can't get on. Yep. What they have to do is maybe just use Boaster's smoke to fall off the site, but even Zippon getting a little damage there.
They're going to try to split. They've left Angel and Tower.
Yeah, that's the biggest threat.
Yep. Again, he's got to find value.
I would love to see them try to bait for Angel to get something else here.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. The timing here is going to be everything. Can they draw enough attention away from Angel for him to make a play?
And now they know his position, so Angel's ahead of the play here. They're not going to be able to bait for him. He's out in the open, but the Viper Wall's covering him. Boaster's up close, though.
Leo and Chronicle spamming through the flash there, and that should take care of the remaining members.
There's no way they think, yeah.
Yeah, Boaster had gone undetected the entire time. It was a trap lying in wait. It had been sprung, and it's too much. Yeah, Zippin and Sugetsu have gotten the spike down, but Sugetsu's going to have to pull off a bloody miracle to win this. He got it down to a 1v1, but he wasn't able to carry it past the finish line. A 3-round lead for Fnatic. Bala, it's almost there. I mean, they can almost taste it at this point.
Force NaVi on a eco, too. The spike money's not going to be enough here. Maybe for a light buy. This is a roaring start again for Fnatic on the second half. They just continue to come out, especially once they get a taste for the game. A taste for the map, a taste for how NaVi want to play. Boaster is having a performance.
I mean, he's in his Zen state right now. He's playing with the crowd. He's got all smiles. Yeah, he's as comfortable as he possibly could be.
Peak form, peak form. And hey, that's what it took for Fnatic to get to the finals in Reykjavik, all the way back at our first LAN. But here, NaVi, backs against the wall. They already had the pressure of dealing with the reverse sweep. And now, at the very first hurdle, having to deal with this 3-0 start in the second half from Fnatic. That's too much to ask. Doombros, we've seen the way he's reacting in these games. In this timeout, he has to put it all out, get through the mental block, and help his team get through the mental block too.
The concerning thing here is surely you're scraping the bottom of your playbook here. I don't know what Doombros could be saying right now that he hasn't been saying already.
Well, we just started 3 rounds here on the attack. So I have to imagine that there got to be more. But in the sense that, yeah, I mean, we've already played Fracture. We've already shown an attack side here. Fnatic is known for preparing. We'll have a tech pause here.
Should not be too long, though. And you know, we talked about the crowd a little bit, but again, you can hear him, you can see him fully behind the Fnatic sails right now.
absolute momentum-killing pause, too.
Very possible, yeah.
I mean, this hurts no matter what the situation is for NaVi. Whatever side this is on, too. Because they just decided what the strat is, what the idea was. For them out of this timeout, out of their own tag timeout, out of potentially their last.
Again, this ship break should not be very long. We'll get back into the action here very shortly. A 3-round lead for Fnatic out of a 6-6 half, where NaVi seemed like they were starting to show some life. They were starting to give some fight back. But the truth is, Bala, even if, as I think about the end of the previous half, it was Fnatic who fully swung things back their way. NaVi were up 5-1.
Yep.
For it to end 6-6 is kind of crazy.
I also have to mention, we just talked about Durka at the half. He was starting at 2-12. He's already back up to 7-12 within 3 rounds. This guy was monstrous in shutting down any approach for NaVi on Lotus.
Yeah, yep.
And if he starts getting going again, I don't know what NaVi can do. He was a beast as well as shutting down 100 Thieves on this map too. Any idea that there ever was, Dirk was there to shut it down.
Back into the action here. Grand final spot up for grabs between Fnatic and NaVi, and the story has been all Fnatic all the way. And as we were just mentioning, even when it seems like NaVi finds some footing, Fnatic are able to respond. And think about historically, those are positions in which Fnatic have crumbled. But the maturity that they have shown in this series alone could be everything. But Sugetsu's able to stop the showstopper.
But heroics like that, over and over. You might see a kill like that from NaVi, but it gets traded. It gets traded.
Yep.
And these are the types of rounds and the types of situations now where I struggle because of the way that they're indecisive on the calls. It's not something you normally say on an Angel-led team. CNET's going to try to find something here paired up with Xiao. Angel maybe go for a late lurk. They've got the orb to work with on the backside of Halls there. Actually, no, Sugetsu down. So even if they want to come through here, they're not clear from the first angle. They're not clear on what's behind the next layer.
I mean,
and Boaster's up close here. He can get a smoke down. He's got his judge.
Yep.
For Alfir on the other side of the map.
Chronicle dumping utility, and look at Fnatic go forward. They want to take these fights. They will not relent. They will not give up a single inch. But perhaps this is where NaVi finds success. All that's left is Alfir with the judge. Opposite side of the map as well.
There's a good call there.
Can he find a weapon?
Oh, yeah, they're not really peeking this drop down here. Oh, going for the Vandal instead.
Champs Vandal 2 for the extra buff.
Ouch, ouch.
Yeah, that nade hurts. He tanks it though. You're not expecting him there! Oh my gosh, Alfir! 1v1, 3 bullets to tap to draw out Xiao, but the paranoia, oh my goodness, how did he hit that? 2 bullets, he's got to make them count, they're both gone. Switches to the classic at that distance, surely not. Unwinnable situation for Alfir. But man, did he take a run at it.
What a spray transfer, are you kidding me? So that went really good from NaVi, actually. Recognizing how Fnatic's like to collapse in the past on the sand push. And just sending one out send, even though they throw the same smokes for top rope and spawn. And you do get that trap out from Chronicle and Boaster just pushing it, but the rest of the players are coming out on site. And so the trades come super fast.
Rolling Thunder online for Chronicle. And Sugetsu once again has that pit. But again, they just want to fight a main. Oh my goodness. It's going to hit 3. CNET has gone undetected. He hasn't been hit, but there's a pinch from the other side as well. Fnatic look to put NaVi away. And they've taken a couple of these haymaker shots, but man, this one landed.
Just taking it all the way through, and now disrespecting NaVi and their defaults completely. This breach ult so deep into the spawn. The aftershock as well, everything just so well coordinated there. Talk about aggression.
Yeah, and it's not the first round they try this. You think about the showstopper right out of the tech pause, it was intended to have a similar effect.
Oh yeah.
It's intended to be demoralizing. It's intended to be flattening. Yeah, NaVi have 5 ult, sure, but all they have is Spectres, and once again, Durka pushes the pace.
They're coming up behind him too. That haunt clears. He's allowed to go further. Yeah, there's big ults on the side of NaVi, but just Sheriffs. How much time do we find ourselves in this situation?
Nade up from CNED, pushing forward.
They've got to push spawn, honestly.
Yeah.
Even if they get the site.
Absolutely.
Look at Angel. Angel's actually walked up on the B. They've got the full rotate because of this aggression.
He does have a Sheriff too. It's not the classic, so you should be able to get a kill, and he does on the Boaster now. Showstopper used. CNED finding nothing. Nope, those are also 2 of the key 5 ults invested. Really confident that they can win this round, and so far, numbers going their way.
A pit 2 denies the actual walkout from main.
3 of 5 here. They put everything they had behind this hit. That's a Hail Mary play if I've ever seen one.
Holding on to dear life. And the thing is, they didn't even really come out of this with guns. They've got 2, yes, those are the 2 players who fell on site. But if you want to start making a comeback, if you want to start mounting against Fnatic, who I've continuously talked about the ult, excuse me, the economy bonus that Fnatic gets by going for light armor on rounds like these. You hope that you can get a bank up to deal with the same bank that's being accrued on Fnatic's side.
Two-round lead here still for Fnatic. Boaster has the orbital strike, and Alfier has his lockdown. And the crazy thing is, given everything that NaVi put behind that previous round, they still have 3 ults.
Orb thrown out for Sugetsu. They've been trying to do this over and over, but Dirk has actually been denying Sugetsu any space to work that lurk. And you can see, they smoked it off immediately. Dirk opens the door. If you're NaVi, what information do you have on the other side of this? Yes, the knife lands, but you can get in front of that just by walking through. So they'll be able to tap the orb and re-clear the front of this. Ooh, Fnatic with a mid-round push-up north side. We saw this actually from NaVi in the previous half. Ended up costing them, but Derek and Leo not going for more. And with the door just spotted now from Bosa, he heard it. He's ready, dodges the suppress too. He's got his ult.
Absolutely huge. He's not dodging that though. So if we do see the orbital strike, it'll be a moment before we get it. Look at NaVi trying to push the matter into spawn. Big kill out from Durka though, and Chronicle finds another. That was the threat in spawn too, that's gone. Xiao trying to get the spike down and does. But at this point, you've lost really all of your teammates.
This ult's not great though. They could actually stay on site, very close.
Can Zipan and Xiao do this? Orbital strike invested now. Xiao trying to get away, and it's Boaster's gun that actually cleans it up. Now Zipan decayed, flashed, 4 members in front of him, and not a single one dropped.
I mean, that's just brilliant though. I talk about the ult from Alfier not being great. It's all for them to actually take the bait and stay on site. Boaster just ults him down. And there's no threat from NaVi with the comp. Over and over, actually, you're seeing them go for things like this, where the ult economy just rides through.
No answers. from NaVi. No answers from Angel. Fnatic now 2 rounds away from a Grand Finals appearance. So elusive last year, but now on the precipice.
And don't forget, we were having the same conversations about Fnatic last year as they dominated over and over in the EU circuit. Taking first place before Reykjavik, qualifying for every tournament. Whew. Same conversations being, we expect them to make it to Grand Finals. We expect them to be a super team. But it's this year, maybe, that they come a reality.
Alfier and Tower. Angel's creeped his way forward. The cage should help provide some cover, and he drops Alfier. Now Neural Theft invested, but Boaster on the trade.
That still will pulse out, though. And they'll have the confidence to actually push up in the site, and I think they should know that this flank is coming.
Look at how far back Chronicle just had to go to make sure that there weren't any funny antics. Nightfall used, Shao revealed.
Sugetsu in a pocket behind his wall.
Boaster wants to go. The C's, and the shots from Sugetsu, but Fnatic once again get things back their way. It's now 2v2, turn 2v1. What can Zipen do? He's got 80 HP, nothing! Boaster with 3, Fnatic with 12. The entire offseason working towards this round to get here, to get to a Grand Finals berth.
The real super team in the world right here. Maybe the only super team built in the offseason. 1 round away now for Fnatic's 2nd Grand Final appearance. For Durka and Boaster, that's their 2nd. For Chronicle, that's their 2nd. Alfier and Leo, that will be their 1st.
What do NaVi have left? Durka's going. Of course Durka's going, and Angel dies first again. What a constant.
Sugetsu just bails on him too.
He was out.
Confidence waning. Desperation showing.
Oh, and hope growing for the Fnatic faithful. 4v4 here, though. Zipen managing to get the spike down. It does not look like it will be interrupted. Shao, 1 onto Chronicle. Fnatic once again in a numbers disadvantage, what seems to be their cozy spot. It seems to be where they play stronger. And it seems like they may just be cutting losses. They don't want it.
These types of decisions were actually what let them have a chance on Haven to close out that game, to close out that map. Is keep NaVi in situations where they have to fight against the guns, against the economy of Fnatic. Not just these rounds, which end up being quite clean, even though Angel dies first. At the investment of the ult from Durka. So we're not quite there yet. NaVi is not quite done yet. Experience on this team is just as vast as Fnatic, if not more. And they've been in situations like this, but albeit not at this level, not in the semifinals of a LAN tournament.
The biggest one ever.
All 32 teams in partnership. Well, 30 teams plus the 2 Chinese.
Is this another haymaker out from Fnatic? Chronicles the Rolling Thunder.
Remember when they breach ulted deep last time? It was on A-Halls.
But there's no pinch! There's no pinch!
Still the first pick. Nade in. Cage is spotted the leg.
It's going to allow him to swing around! But NaVi received the punch.
Oh, you've got to be thankful there wasn't more there from Fnatic, and there was a group. Oh!
Alfier, 1v3. Zipen and CNET both weak. The Viper wall keeping Alfear safe for now.
Imagine it was the young Turk, the 17-year-old from Fnatic, close out this game against not only Sugetsu and Zipbound, but the Turkish idol of CNED.
Does Alfear even really have the possibility to go for it here? Uh-oh. Huh. Huh.
Not again.
Huh. You don't say. Zipan throwing a shoulder. Now 7 bullets left. Alfear waiting to see if he can get any other guns out of the hands of the NaVi players. Not able to do so. NaVi gets to 10. NaVi gets to double digits.
And you know, heart beating for all these different players. Alfear in particular in that 1v3, thinking there's an opportunity. That feeling for either Fnatic fans or NaVi fans in that this moment right now. Edge of your seat, waiting for Fnatic to win. Edge of your seat, waiting for NaVi to bring it to a map 4. The fact that we're here at all, given the first half start from NaVi, the fact that Fnatic's in the lead with that, and then as well, that NaVi are climbing back into this after, what, they've already faced 2 match points.
Yeah.
And it was a major deficit with the pistol and bonus conversions of Fnatic in the second half. Those facts alone are spectacular. If it wasn't for Lotus, this would be an enormously entertaining series all the way through, despite how we might end.
The timeout looks like it has expired, but I'm looking at some of the Fnatic players, and it seemed like they didn't even have hands on the keyboard. That seems to have changed, though, so it looks like we'll be getting back into the action here. Again, Fnatic 1 round away from a Grand Finals appearance.
Okay. We've seen it before. Hey, I'm not going to count it out. I've seen Boaster forget to buy a weapon before. Just making the finishing touches on the call, then buying up.
Interesting here how committed they are to this light armor strategy. They have a couple of members that could have invested on the Fnatic side, but they choose not to.
It's an identity at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Knife Molly clears up close B tree. See how much NaVi actually buys into that, because the hold is very passive here from Fnatic. NaVi's wall is different as well. They could walk out onto B. That orb is placed, so they can even disrespect the smoke if they want to. I think they're going to wait for it. Once that happens, they'll pressure through halls.
Fault line hits 2 in the nade. Dissuades any aggression, any approach.
Zipon has his ult. There's not really a counter set up here from Fnatic. Orb just cycled. Boaster's going to be trying to clear, but I think maybe even the wall might be up still for Sugetsu. Yes. Because of that, they're rotating off. Alfear is the only one left on this A side.
CNED pushing forward as the rest of NaVi follow close by.
This is hard to clear.
Can Alfear find anything? It is cleared. Zipan cleans it up. Angel's going to get the spike down.
Whoa.
Well, that certainly is going to help the situation back in Fnatic's favor.
Yeah, the Sugetsu situation up here, though, difficult to deal with on the top of ropes. That door can be baited at any point. And I think Fnatic might opt to save again. Look, there's nobody even close to Leo. Durka and Boaster gave up way far away. They're challenging. Big clean pick here from Xiao. Very important. If they're going to challenge, they got to make it clean. They can't lose any players here going into this final round. If they find Leo, that's the guy who could drop a weapon. Durka, I'm not so concerned about, but this nade, oh, Leo, he's gone. And that might cause him to be broke. It's light armor all the way through.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the money. They're still forcing a buy. It's still light armor. And the utility is pretty good across the board.
This is really where you see the value of the strategy too, right? If they're buying light armor, they don't have a gun round here.
It's the same thing as Haven. It's the same thing. The staying power from Fnatic so strong. Fnatic has relied over and over on these aggressive plays to really shut down NaVi in rounds like this. Rounds where it's a swing round, rounds that are so important. There was 4 stacked over towards A at the beginning, even with Alpha here. The turret here could bait out just that, could find the timing for just that. Chronicle goes a little early. Boaster, I think he's just holding for the ult here. Yeah, off the turret as well.
Oh my gosh.
But they're all safe, they're all safe.
Oh, I thought Zipan found a pocket, but he did not.
Oh, it looked like it for sure on the minimap. Player down, NaVi. This is it here.
What can Cena do? He's got the showstopper. Can he find some space for NaVi? Can he force us to overtime? And they're going to fight in sand yet again. They're going to fight in sand yet again. Alvier with the first. The showstopper does not connect. 4v3 here in favor of Fnatic. Paranoia in his face. Chronicle takes a step back.
30 seconds. They're on site. Chronicle still up close, though.
Angel with 59 HP. Does get the spike down. Durka with 1, though. Angel and Xiao, the only 2 that remain, and it's all on to Xiao. Yeah, the spike was planted, but there's no way the kills will come through. Chronicle gets the defuse. Valorant has shown us that many aspire, but few attain. And the pursuit of greatness persists for Fnatic.
In the semifinals is where the statement comes for Fnatic. That this is real, that this is their time, that this is their opportunity to attain what they did not.
What they could not.
The fame that would have come with the first LAN win. Another opportunity for them. NaVi, up to this point, they looked like the best team in the tournament. But Fnatic say, hell no. This has set us up for such an amazing grand final here, Doug.
Yeah, it has. Yes, it has. A sweep where previous Fnatic rosters would have crumbled. Where previous Fnatic players would have shown signs of fraud. To deliver here in the face of a comeback from NaVi, in the face of a 6-6 half, against all odds, against all expectations, Fnatic have arrived. And the fun thing is they keep their playful personalities. Yeah, I'd need a nap after that too.
Bench.
Poor Leo doesn't get to sleep. What the heck, man? Such is the life of a top fragger. No rest for the wicked.
I mean, he's a robot. They call him a Terminator for a reason. Second appearance in the finals for Fnatic. Second for the core of Boaster and Durka and Mini. And Chronicle as well, a chance for 2 wins on an international stage. For 2 championship titles. There will be 4 players on the server who have the possibility of attaining that.
I'm trying to make out what the chants are, and I can't get it. But man, are they loud. We'll take a look at some of the map highlights yet again. And there was a lot to talk about this map. But again, it was Fnatic ultimately that were able to clean things up, that were able to maintain their composure.
Yep. And while this Omega bracket was very different than what happened in the Alpha bracket.
Agreed.
I think some of the relative paths that these two teams take shows you the strength of Fnatic. Again, NaVi looked perfect throughout this tournament. So much so that they didn't drop a map up to this point. They had an 80% win rate on attack side. They had some stellar moments. And the players of Fnatic make them look like that.
Yep.
A sweep in the semifinals.
I mean, that's scary. That's genuinely scary. MVP vote up. You've got Leo, you've got Durka, and you've got Boaster. I mean, again, Fnatic, right? Just Fnatic. Just Fnatic. For them to, as you were saying, Bala, for them to make a meal out of NaVi the way that they did, this is the Fnatic that we've been waiting for. This is the Fnatic that people have been anticipating for, what, the better part of a year?
Yep. Hey, Boaster came out cooking at the beginning of this.
He did.
In his pot, in his little cauldron, and yeah, they made a meal out of him.
We really do need to get rid of the cooking thing. I think it's really kind of seeing its fullness. We're going to throw it to a break. Again, Fnatic 3-0 NaVi to earn a date with Loud. And what a statement was made. We're going to throw it to a break. Again, when we return, the desk will take over. See you guys soon.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Fnatic are your second lock-in grand finalist, and I'm now joined by Chronicle for the Verizon post-match interview. Now, Chronicle, we haven't seen you in a grand final on an international stage since 2021. You had a bit of a tough year in 2022. What does it mean to you to be able to do this back on this stage and with your team as well?
I mean, first thing, I'm not bad. I mean, I'm still capable to show one of the best performances on Tier 1, and I'm really glad that I'm playing right now with Fnatic in grand finals of this tournament. And I think for us as a team, it's a great challenge, great experience, and I think it will help us in the future a lot.
Obviously, you're one of the new players on this team, but both Durka and Althea have all said in past interviews that they believe in this current Fnatic more than they ever have. They love what you guys are doing. Do you share that sentiment as well? And why do you think that you guys are going to be the ones to lift that trophy tomorrow?
I mean, we were playing most of the time very confident. For example, we didn't lose any map at all, for this moment, and I will not say that we will continue our streak with Loud, because it's obviously you're just predicting without any clue what's happening, and I think it will be obviously a great match, and we can do a really great battle against Loud tomorrow.
Now, you mentioned about your own individual performance. There are a lot of doubters. I think even when you guys beat Sentinels after the first game, people were saying, yeah, but they're Thronatic, they're going to throw the next one, you win the next one. And I think the same thing is being said over and over again. Is there anything that you like to say to the doubters of you and your team?
I mean, keep crying, I don't know. I actually don't care. When someone say that someone's living rent-free in my mind, I just don't care, actually. I'm just doing it. Every banter I'm doing in this game is just for fun, and I'm nothing negative in my words you can find. I mean, I really don't care about any haters in this game.
Doesn't affect you. Doesn't affect you at all. I like that. I like that. Lastly, you mentioned Loud as well. They're looking really good, but do you think they have a weakness? What is it that you're going to do tomorrow to make sure you 100% beat them?
We still didn't do any VOD review of Loud gameplay, so I can't say about their weaknesses or strong sides, but I think we will find the key to win tomorrow, or at least put a great fight against them.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show. Thank you so much, Chronicle, for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, you're going to be seeing Fnatic versus Loud tomorrow, guys. I can't wait to see how the desk is going to react to this and break everything down to close out the day.
Thank you so much, Yinsu. Thank you to Chronicle, and congratulations to Fnatic, who silenced the doubters here on the stage by continuing their perfect run at the lock-in tournament, making it back to an international final for the first time in 642 days. Wow. Long awaited, but they have arrived.
Yeah, it is insane that it has taken this long, but it feels like it is the completion of the story for Fnatic. For so long, it was Choke-Natic, Throw-Natic. They're going to kind of trip things over at the final hurdle, but they've beaten that storyline here. They have a chance to lift a trophy once again.
I think what's interesting is, conversely, it's NaVi who we see kind of choke this series. Honestly, they did not show up at all today. There were a number of scenarios that were just so uncharacteristic. I think on the flip side of that, we probably saw the best Fnatic we've seen at São Paulo in this series. The scorelines aside.
Yeah, this was just an incredible run from them. I mean, 13-11 on both of their map picks, but then utter dominance when it came down to that Lotus play. Fnatic just looks so well-versed on all of these maps. We can expect that going into tomorrow, they're probably still going to be perma-banning Pearl, especially given how Loud look on that. So they really just have to maintain these performances.
Yeah, at the beginning of Boaster's career, when he was interviewed back when he was on Summon FC, he said that he wanted to play against Angel, that that's the IGL that he kind of looked up to and wanted to compete against. And here, he's beaten him on the biggest stage in a semi-final, 3-0. This team has still not dropped a map. I think at this point, it is fair to say that Fnatic is the EMEA super team that we have been waiting for.
Whew, I bet they'll be happy to hear that said pretty definitively themselves. We just relived a few of the top moments from throughout all three of the maps, but I do want to break down this third and final map just a little bit. On Fracture, for example, going into the half at 6-6, it was arguably one of our more even states here, but Fnatic was able to eke it out in the end.
Yeah, they really were. A couple scary moments there. Again, much like we saw in Haven, it seemed like NaVi was starting to really find their groove. They were starting to convert some of these thrifty rounds, picking Fnatic off and making them, be forced to go for these saves. But in the end, they just persevere time and time again. Some you know, some good moments here from the side of NaVi. It looked like they were starting to really find themselves, become that team that we know that they can be, but unfortunately it was just far too late.
Yeah, that it was. And in the second half, I felt like the game plan for Fnatic was really strong. Both the south side and north side crunches that they were going for were very well coordinated, mixing that up with these slower rounds where they were leaning into retake. It was a really nicely set up half, and the coordination for this team continues to be absolutely fantastic. I mean, these close post plants that they were winning, it's clear that they have drilled this fracture map and look fantastic at it.
This style is like, stick to the script, stick to the game plan. Well, by round 6, Alpha had 2 lockdowns. It puts you in such a strong position on the attack to be able to actually literally start PvEing at the start. Like round 2, they're literally on a PvE quest. They have that to then bring into the next couple of rounds. It wasn't as if NaVi even had an opportunity to really stop that train getting going.
Yeah, and what Fnatic showed as well is that it's not just the game plans, because in the past they've always had the fantastic game plans, but here I think they showed that in a tough match, in a close match, they are still able to come out, adapt, make that call. This is a big proof not just for Fnatic, but for Boaster as an IGL individually.
I mean, for me, plainly, it was just that every single individual on Fnatic had their moment in one of the 3 maps, right? And I think that's what's going to make the difficulty for the fans at home having to try and lock down an MVP for the match. Before the break, we asked you to vote for the player of the match. The votes are in, and let's see who y'all picked. It's Leo, but only by 0.2%. Over Boaster, the IGL there.
It's a close one, but for me, it was Leo as well. This guy is now 12-1 in first kills, first deaths throughout this event. It took him 160 rounds to be the first person to die on his team. That is insane across 8 maps to only have 1 first death, and he's also top fragging at the same time. So it's not like he's just sitting back and then dying later on in the rounds. He is consistently putting up strong performances. The man's a robot. He doesn't need to sleep. He just shoots heads.
And his first death was on their most dominant win anyway for a map. So it really did not.
You can throw that one away.
We don't talk about Lotus. Lotus didn't exist. This was the best of 3.
Now, I want to give a nod to a player who wasn't even on the ballot, because as we were talking about, everyone had a moment, and we'll do it by giving him the HyperX reflex moment from the day. It's Alphayer on Haven, a 4K here, locking down Garage and the Seaside.
I mean, Alphayer was fantastic today. He was performing across this entire series, putting up consistent value for his team. He's really had a great progress as an individual player, I think, since Champions. There in Turkey, he lost on his home stage. I think crumbled a little bit under the pressure, but now heading into this event in Brazil, he has not felt that same pressure. He has not cracked on it whatsoever. Shifting into this Sentinel role, he has looked fantastic, and he showed that today.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful showing here from the side of Alphayer, who, when you look back to Champions, he's in front of that home crowd. He's such a young player. It felt like he didn't really hit that stride that we had seen him achieve in online competition. Now he's here in São Paulo. He's in front of all of these screaming fans. Once again, the crowd widely cheering for him and his team. And he's just thriving in it. So it's fantastic to see him continue to play like this.
Of course, Hypoc, the other side of our story here is that it's a very painful exit for NaVi to go down 0-3, especially when there was so much hype around one of our EMEA super teams.
Yeah, there was not to beat a dead horse, but it's almost like that we didn't see NaVi today. We really didn't see them live up to even a shred of their peak. I would have loved to have seen this obviously extend past Fracture, to have the opportunity to really see them benefit from what I felt was a good veto towards the back half, but it just wasn't that.
Yeah, it wasn't. And throughout this tournament, we really saw how good this NaVi squad can be. The game plans were very, very good. The ideas that they brought into this tournament, the map pool was deep, and all these individuals were fantastic. Integrating CNET in, there were questions on whether this NaVi squad could match the peaks that FPX hit before, but despite losing out here and in pretty rough fashion, I still think they showed us what heights they will be able to hit with a little bit more time.
Yeah. The thing that I'm the most excited about, and we kind of teed this up at the end of the show yesterday, is that we are going to have somebody, at least one person, walking away with a second championship win, lifting a second trophy. For Fnatic, that is Chronicle. He might be able to get it done. For Loud, they have 3 people that will be 2 times if they can get this in Les, Aspas, and Sadak. It's going to be fantastic to finally see this be achieved.
Yeah, also, even though NaVi is going home, it's crazy that this is now just going to be like a regular season matchup in the EMEA League. Like, we could just like see this on like any given Wednesday.
Because also regionally, it's Fnatic that dominate that head-to-head.
Yeah.
We touched that earlier on. Regionally, it was always Fnatic on top, and it was relatively clean as well.
Well, Achilles, you already started to preview tomorrow. Let's get there. It's official. We've now completed the Omega bracket. 15 teams have been eliminated, and only one remains. It's going to be Fnatic moving into that grand final against the hometown favorite in Loud. A best-of-5 series between the Alpha and Omega brackets best. And we'll kick things off, though, of course, with a show match pitting Team Tarek against Team FRT. There's Cloud on the line, great rosters. We'll have the global reveal of a brand new agent. You don't want to miss it, and that all leads up to the amazing best-of-5 that we're promised.
Yeah, a good, honest clout match between some big streamers, some big players in the mix there, too. I think some of the folks who lost in these semifinals might be making a debut even, so it's going to be super exciting there.
Spoiler
also,
alert!
Did I spoil that?
I don't know. I don't know what's been revealed or not.
What has been revealed is we get to see the new agent, which is what's going to be probably the most exciting.
That will be super dope. We will leave most of our discussion to tomorrow because we'll have plenty of time to talk about the two teams that remain and are doing battle for the first international win here in 2023. For now, though, we're going to close it down here at the arena. We'll see you back here tomorrow for more Valorant lock-in action. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and be good to each other, all right? Good night. We started with 32 teams, and after today, we will be down to only 2. It's an EMEA battle for the ages, a grudge match through and through. Fnatic on one side, NaVi on the other. Only one gets to make the trip to the finals tomorrow to challenge Loud for that international title.
They haven't been able to equalize the round. Alfier takes care of one, the second served up on a silver platter, and the fourth to boot. Alfier cleans up the round almost by himself. The flash, the dart. He's in the cubby, though. He's in the cubby, and he's patient. Oh, dear. Oh, that's okay. They saved the day. They saved the round. That could have been disaster. Fnatic take Haven.
With no room to spare.
Let's get freaky.
Can they convert this poster with a massive one, but it traded right back? What can Leo do? Oh my gosh, he's gotten into a 1v1. He just saw the gun drop, and Leo with the clutch!
Can't shoot me. That was mad.
Durka falls first. They're not expecting Ghost to hear. Oh, he swings around the turret. Oh. Chronicle with 2 massive ones. He drops down and he gets a third! Nice! Another map in favor of Fnatic.
Boaster immediately up on his feet, asking the crowd to start thinking about sending NaVi home.
Shao, no clutch, bro. Come on. Bro, I'm trying.
I swear to every time I see Shao, he's on his ass.
I think so.
They're going to split. Oh, and he's not able to take off.
Well, he's by himself. There's no utility at all for him.
That could have been disaster. What do NaVi do here? Actually, that's the thing about this Fnatic roster right now, man, is that you think, all right, how do NaVi respond? Fnatic don't even give him a chance to consider the approach.
Nice!
You're not expecting him there! Oh my gosh, Alfier!
Come on, boys. One round at a time, baby.
Fnatic once again get things back their way. What can Zipen do? He's got 80 HP. Nothing! Valorant has shown us that many aspire, but few attain. And the pursuit of greatness persists for Fnatic.
NaVi, up to this point, they looked like the best team in the tournament. But Fnatic say, hell no.